Hello, everybody, and welcome to the island. Welcome to my Minecraft map. So today what we're going to be discussing is, well, as you may know, I should have released, I realized that I've kind of forgot to release the 6.0. I don't think I released the 6.0 update. Let me check. Oh, crap. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, no, I didn't release the download for my 6.0 map release. This is I guess, development release that you get to play early before development is actually completed. This is just a thing that I do usually on a monthly basis, but I forgot. Honestly, I kind of forgot. I did release it on my Discord, but I did not release it well publicly on my YouTube channel. So I'm here to say that I really don't. The update was pretty major. This is one of the more major updates. I finally settled on like a bunch of quest stuff. I finalized some stuff. There's gonna be a lot more to do with this map soon, and I'm still trying to figure everything out where everything is going to supposed to be because been trying to scout out locations. I just haven't had the time. But anyways, let's discuss some of the features of the map, basically the storyline and what's going down with that. Because there's a bit of a storyline to this map. When I was first constructing this map, there wasn't much of a storyline to go off of. It was just supposed to be a short little adventure about you going off to fight a witch. And I thought for a while on how I could expand that initially when developing the map, and I realized, you know what? Fighting just the witch and just having that one boss fight isn't really enough for a map. I mean, it is, but I wanted something more like substantial. So there's gonna be as I went over in a previous video, there's gonna be 75 quests. Main quests, sorry. Um, I haven't even gone into the side quests and a bunch of other stuff. There's no the thing about this map is there are no repeatable quests. You do not have to worry about repeating a quest again after doing it. Because I don't I intentionally haven't set it up in such a way that you'd be able to repeat the quest. It's meant to be you do the task and you get the reward, and then that's that. You move on to the next tasks, and then it basically follows from there. Um, some of the things that um, really stand out about this map is, I would say, the main island. I've put quite a bit of effort into the main island. Now, it may look simple, but that's by design. Um, I wanted things to be in almost a simplified, limited fashion because of the fact that it well, there wasn't much to go off from the start. But the thing is, let's head to, you may be wondering what's my inventory right now. This is just a joke. I'm throwing around ideas for random special items that I can throw around. Um, I could put a Star Wars reference in the game. I'm not. That's just like asking Disney to sue me for copyright issues or something. I don't know. I don't know Disney's big business practices. Um, but what I'm going based off right now, at least, is the fact that what I've been hesitant to start on is I've been looking for specifically a very large cave. Now, there's one very close to the island, and I know I've spoken about that in a previous video. But here's the deal with that. that's too close to the island, and I want the various factions of the world um to be more spread out. There's going to be a lot of locations involving, and this involves like you're not even going to be luckily to save file size and that stuff, so downloads won't be a problem. So downloading it won't be an issue, especially since I use mega.nz, which is a file sharing site, which allows me to it's more of a cloud service, really. I'm using a free version of it. I've been a member for a few years now, probably 2 or 3, and I have like a 20 gigabytes of space, whereas you usually start out with 4 or 5, which is yeah. So I've been there. There are perks to being a member there. Now this is not an advertisement, but it's a really nice file sharing service. It's really simple. You get a lot of storage. It's quite secure. Making an account there is pretty easy, and I do recommend it if you are just starting out and you want someplace, especially if you want to back up documents and stuff. You can back them up there, knowing that they're pretty much safe for the most part, unless your account gets hacked, which there's a very there you can't rule out the possibility. But again, um, so most of my file, if you're like wanting to access the file, if you're wanting to download the file and play the map for yourself, like there's obviously I'm in the end for the map, so there are a bunch of challenges and a bunch of puzzles and stuff. Not really puzzles, but scavenger hunts. This game is based off of a hidden quest system, which by design I have to put the quests in random locations, and your player is meant to explore the map and stumble across these locations. But especially they're mostly just marked chests, and then the actual locations will you'll be able to visit them. There are some locations which I've intentionally put chords that weren't exactly directly, they were in the general area, but they weren't directly near the structure. So sometimes finding that structure, the structures that I've basically produced, um, is yeah going to be a big part of this. Now there are some other things I have to go about before I finish up this video. I haven't been working on this, so I would not expect a map update next month because I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break from it. It's a healthy thing to take a break from sometimes. I pushed myself very hard from making this map. I normally don't make Minecraft maps. I normally do single player worlds, and I normally just say, okay, maybe I'll turn this into a map. I don't usually. This is one of the few times which I actually do, and this is one of the first major maps that I am doing. Major in the fact that I really haven't done something like this, so I'm very new to all of this. I've had to go based on instincts at times, look at videos on how to do certain things, like sometimes even the most basic of things, like okay, how do I build certain structures and how do I put things together? It's there's an entire system that I'm working by that isn't exactly clear, and I doubt it will ever be clear, but it works. This structure here is actually when you basically get to the end dimension, which isn't the end. The end game for this map is you kill Baba Yaga, you basically first kill or remove her clone from the island. Then you go out and essentially eliminate Baba Yaga, and then from there you go and from there what ends up happening is you go and essentially how do I put this? from there, basically the end game is defeating Baba Yaga. You don't have to do the quests in order. Although as far as progression in the actual map, I would recommend you keep some sort of order as to what you do each quest. Some quests are more difficult than others. Some quests are a real challenge, such as one involves, for instance, one involves raiding an ancient city, and there's others where you have to go through a few thousand blocks. That I think the longest, um, the farthest you have to travel in the map is approximately 12K blocks away, around 12,000 blocks away, and that's just for the That's just for quest number 7, I believe, which involves going to defeat a evoker named evoker, essentially. Characters and stuff names used in this are really much random, especially the villager names. That was kind of a task in of itself. I'll go more into the villager names next episode. This is going to be a part of a 2-part episode thing, or at least, well, actually, you know what? Let's just condense it all into one video. Now, I know many will be thinking, well, what makes this map different from any other sketchy-looking map that you might be playing? Well, first of all, this map is sketchy. I'll never, and I'm going to say this, I'm not one to distribute malware. I'm not one, frankly, I find that practice that some people do that disgusting. And I know you'd be wondering, well, how secure is your download? It's pretty secure. You have to type in a decryption key, and unless you're on like unsecured public Wi-Fi doing this, chances are you won't get a virus, because I'm not one to distribute malware. It's not the type of thing that I want to do. It's not a healthy business practice, nor is it a business practice that I'm in the business of doing. I just want to deliver a fun map that you can do in your spare time and don't have to worry it too much about. This is meant to be a very relaxed experience, and I say that, but the final boss fight, the final, rather, the final raid, it's more of a raid than a boss fight. You're essentially raiding Baba Yaga's nether fortress for everything that it's worth. After all, she is probably one of the most, in this world at least, she's one of the most wanted criminals in a lot of factions. You don't obviously interact directly with the factions themselves, but you do get into some idea of what's going on and how the world worked before the player's arrival. Um, there is certain elements that may contradict each other, and I'm aware of that. That's just the problem with certain story writing, and specifically a problem on my part that as far as stories go, the tasks that you are going to be going and doing may seem menial at times, but a lot of the times you're going to encounter, um, you're going to probably be encountering all sorts of challenges and obstacles, especially when it comes to the fact that I haven't fully mapped this world. In fact, I haven't even bothered to look the seed for this map. I haven't bothered to put this in through like a seed generation to see where structures are generating and stuff. That's all I probably should, but the problem here doing that would kind of ruin the fun of building a map. It's supposed to be a map that you play and you like have no clue where you begin. You obviously have a clue where to start, but as for how to progress, the player is challenged to figure that out. It's sort of you choose the quests you want to take before taking on, and hope that you take on, and then after you take on the quest, you hope that you are able to take on the final quest. Those quests will obviously be hidden again on the main island. Um, I would jump into the portal, but the amount of lag from loading into the actual main island, just because of the block count, and the amount of entities in terms of, it's not like a lag machine, but as far as loading into it, there is a kind of jump in frame rate I've noticed. over time, of course, because there's a lot of NPCs that I've had to use, mostly villagers, but villagers NPCs. Anyways, what else is there to discuss before I actually wrap up this video? Oh yeah, summoning the dragon. So when summoning the dragon, you may notice, and that's actually one of the main things I want to talk about. One of the big issues that I'm having right now is the fact that whenever you summon the dragon, for whatever reason, the explosion from the crystals being summoned is enough that it can destroy bedrock and obsidian. And it destroys it from like uh out past here all the way down to like here or something. It's really weird, and it's probably somewhere up to like here. So more like there. From there to there in a circle, all this gets annihilated, and it kind of mind-boggling. Like you'd think that they'd have the explosion, be isolated to say here, like within the for each one have the actual blast radius be like within that square. But no, it's all the way out here and it destroys the platform. So getting up here is going to be a bit of a challenge. You're going to have to use some blocks. There is nothing I can really do about that at this time. That is a game bug a game bug or unintentional feature that I simply don't have the um I simply can't avoid. It's an unavoidable thing. So that is something that is on my radar. That's a known bug. That's a known issue with my map, but that's something I can't fix. So yeah, that's one of the few issues I have to actually complain about this map. One of the complaints I have, but all in all, like all of this, and then all the main island. Which, if you go back to all my previous videos on this map, you will see that in future videos, you'll see get to get a decent understanding, especially if you go back and watch. It's good because a lot of the locations for the quests haven't changed since I put them in. Because once I put them in, they're in. As far as deciding which chest gets filled with what, um, there are certain chests in the around the map that basically when you find a chest that's marked, most chests that will are going to be marked with an item in an invisible item frame. Um, Unfortunately, you cannot take said item from the invisible item frame, uh, except when it's on the wall. But I'd recommend destroying if you really want to take the item. I'd recommend destroying the block behind it, behind the item frame, and letting it pop off, because otherwise there's a higher chance of it not being given to the player for whatever reason. I don't have any reason. Again, there's especially here. There's like a bunch of um, loot and stuff. This armor's not really any good. It is Curse of Vanishing, meaning if you die with this armor on, although I guess if you've died and you want armor and the chances of you dying are pretty slow anyways, you have this. You also get a free tome of undying if you come here. So there's a bunch of ender pearls in that chest. Again, when I created this structure in particular, I had one idea, which was an end fortress. This is meant to be a wall that would have encircled like this portion at least of the island. That never came to pass. I ended up with this little structure, but it's just one of those things that if you can't do, you can't do. There's no. Sometimes it's best to leave Like, I'm more used to building medium to small scale maps. This is probably the largest map that I've ever worked on. And yeah, there's a lot to it. Anyways, let's pause. Let's head to the main island. This episode's going to be a little bit long, so I thank you for watching the video if you've watched to this point. Um, Maybe get a glass of water and pause the video. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're on the main island. Things are a little bit laggy. I know. It's just it's mostly OBS struggling right now. Um, as you can see what I mean by I've worked on it a lot. The main island's done. Um, that's not the problem anymore. I don't have to really worry about the main island as much. As far as putting in, if I like, there's enough chest areas that I can. Obviously, if I have to add a new area, I will. Um, I can always expand in over in this direction. There for some reason is random light source here. Oh, that's the glow lichen. I was about to say, do I have like a light block? I don't know. Um, yeah. For the most part, this island area is like done. Now I'm gonna have to make, I think, a lot more structures around the world. Yeah, that's gonna be a bit of an undertaking. And as you can imagine, why I've held off on doing stuff because this is just right now I can't work on it because there's other things that I'm working on in regards to like other games like Edward the Maiden Train, trying to get to 100K in that, and some other stuff like uh there's like other games which I'm looking into um that are kind of popular right now on Roblox, and I just haven't had the time to check them out. I'm behind in a lot of things, is what I'm saying. So, um, catching up is going to be something of a thing. But for right now, the most stable release is the map that's going to be released in the description below. Um, if you want to play the map for yourself and play up to the point which I've stopped, which I've, um, if you want to play this map and you want to just get a general idea, there is a playable version. It's not even a demo. It's the real deal. Um, I don't even have a demo set up yet. This is more a development version, which you guys can go play for yourself and enjoy, and have a few laughs, maybe get infuriated, maybe find it challenging and fun. Really, the decision to play and understand this map. There's a lot of lore and stuff that I haven't expanded upon, but there are some areas which have some clues and whatnot as to what's going on. I am going to be incorporating more diary style logs soon, or at least that's something that's big on my storyboard. I realize that any good game, any good map really has a story behind it, and I'm still in the process of writing that story. As you can tell, the quest system doesn't entire the quest system doesn't entirely tie into the lore, but it doesn't entirely tie into the main story. But it is there are quests that prepare you for the road ahead, and there are quests you'll come out decently rich. You'll come out decently rich. You'll definitely be better off than the villagers. I mean, the villagers just stand around and do whatever villagers do on a daily basis. I would recommend that you keep that there is. I do have the game rule keep inventory on, and that is primarily designed for anyone new who wants to play and maybe explore the map without having to risk inventory loss um, early on. But if you're wanting a hardcore experience, you want to really get into the ugly, nitty gritty um, gameplay that is Minecraft and just the storyline, the way everything works, keep inventory off by all means. Um, I haven't even tried my map with keep inventory off. Um, and frankly, I don't have a clue how it works with keep inventory off. I mean, I've played some of it with keep inventory off, but like through development and like stuff, it's just one of those things where you gotta play this smart. Um, yeah, there obviously you can trade for quite a bit of materials and quite a bit of resources. There is an iron farm on the island, so like um, risking your items if you want to feel safer and not have to risk like losing netherite armor and stuff if you're going to play it that way, I'd recommend heading immediately to the iron farm, grabbing a stack or two of iron ingots, and crafting yourself some basic tools and weapons. I haven't tested yet the idea of doing an iron only playthrough of this map up to the way it is currently. And that is something that is on my radar. I'm actually maybe doing a series of videos um, based around that. So be on the lookout. If I do post another Minecraft video, it's probably going to be a playthrough of this because I'm currently paused. Development's just on pause while I work on some other uh, um, series, different series that I'm working on, which is Edward the Man-Eating Train. Good series. Do recommend you check it out. If you do want to consider supporting my channel, then please do consider subscribing as it helps grow my channel. If you want to also, please consider joining the Discord. Everyone there is pretty friendly. Just don't go spamming racial slurs and any other stuff that violates Discord TOS and stuff. Um, anyways, thank you for watching and have a good one.